All right, welcome to our homeschool space. Now, this homeschool space has come quite a long way. We have done so much work over the past 2 weeks, and we've really established the bones of how this homeschool space is going to work. We begin with my dining room table. This is not my dining room table. This is actually a table that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, but this is what I needed. I needed a space where we could gather around a table and do schoolwork if need be. And so that is one thing that I love about this table. I love the fact that it's benches and not chairs. And so it doesn't take up too much space. This will be my chair, obviously, until I get something a little more comfortable. And in the center will be like a caddy with all of our school supplies. I am going to have a separate video going over how I organize our homeschool space, which will go into more detail. Definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video when it comes out. Going along with our main school area, you'll see we have this bike thing here, and that, if you've been around for a little while, you know I love to pedal and do read alouds, or my littles will get on here and they'll be pedaling, and so it just keeps people active. Sorry, there are little ones around here. Now, up here I have our construction paper. My daughter split it up for us in different colors, and I am not quite sure what I'm going to do with this little rack thing here yet, but when I do that organization video, you will see. Down here, every single last one of my schooling children has 2 cubbies. The bottom cubby houses their bins. Their bins aren't organized yet. Like I said, video to come, but it will have their school supplies up top and then all their curriculum that they are currently using, that is currently in use in here, and it will be labeled on the side so that they can see it when they pull it out. Now, on top is their read alouds. So the way that we're doing read alouds this year is we're doing like a basket full of read aloud selections, and they can go in and pick what they want. And my older 2 will be doing the not consume reading journals, and based off of what they read. So that's how they'll be doing it. They'll have an aside reading time, and then they'll come to their baskets and pick out whatever they want. Here's my pre-K-er, my 1st grader, my 4th grader, and my 7th grader. There will be labels on everything, but like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, but I will be labeling all these things. This is a collaboration hosted by Katie over at Life in the Mundane. She decided to get a bunch of us to do a homeschool room tour. So definitely check out the other women that are a part of this collaboration to see how they set up their homeschool spaces. Over here, we have just a turn-in system where they'll be turning in their schoolwork. And then in here, in these 2 closets, is our school supplies. If you'd like to see our school supply haul, you can click this video up here. So now here is my area. So this is pretty much all, for the most part, books and things that have to do with me. And so over here houses all of my homeschool books and my home management books and apologetics and different things like that. We also have like our family worship resources, all the things here that just have to do with more adult stuff. On top of here, I'm currently housing all of our flashcards for learning to read with Christian Light. So, and a couple of other flashcards as well. So, just our flashcard basket. And then I have my Made to Homeschool mug and journal up here. If you don't know about Made to Homeschool, it is a community that I'm a part of. It is made by homeschooling moms for homeschooling moms. So, more information in the link in my description. Definitely check it out. So on top of here, I just currently house a basket full of just odds and ends of different things. Under here, I have all of my teacher's manuals for all of my kiddos' curriculums, another bin that I use for doing school on the go, and then a couple of our important paperworks up top. Now this bin right here is where I house our read-alouds for the year and our readers and read-alouds for Heart and Soul by Heritage Mom blog, and a couple of other of our series that we own that are more for the older kiddos. So those are over here, which is like the Odyssey, Percy Jackson, the I Survived series. Those are over here. Narnia is over here. In this bin, what is in this bin? Oh, those are the readers that I was telling you about that I'm going to separate and put in each kiddo's bin. I have all of them in here waiting for me to separate for each kid. So this is pretty much my work area. Now, when developing this space, I really took into account the clutter bug and how I organize and how my family organize and all the things. And initially I was just really, really overwhelmed because the way my kids organize things and the way that I organize things is not the same. They are butterflies and ladybugs, so macro organizers, like give me a bin and I'll dump all the stuff. And I am a very micro organizer. A cricket, I think is what she calls it. And I like things in different categories and perfect, and it just helps me to be able to narrow in on what I'm looking for and and that's how I organize. And so I thought I had to choose. I thought I had to change my entire organization system in order to work for my kiddos. But I have found a way to make it work for everybody. And that to me is golden. So over here is our rolling cart. I have 2 carts this year. All the things on top of here are like Bible and our morning menus, our history, our Bible doctrine. I also like to keep my child training Bible on here so that it's easily accessible and it's something that I can grab as necessary whenever child training occurs, which is 100% every single day in our homeschooling journey. I also have some fidgets down here for when I'm doing all these readers that I can quickly grab and give to them so that they can fidget with while I'm doing it. Let's see. On this cart, I have all of the things for my younger kiddos. So my gentle and classical things, a couple of like what your preschooler needs to know, what your kindergartner needs to know. We are going to be doing the virtue study. And so that's the Bible, getting ready to do the child virtue training. And under here we have our PALS program in this bin. And we are going to be doing PALS like every other day for my first grader next year. I've had a lot of trouble with homeschool rooms, and I tend to gravitate more towards my couch upstairs or my dining room table and just liking to leisurely homeschool in these different spaces. But with homeschooling comes a lot of stuff and a lot of mess. And so my husband, God bless his soul, he is amazing. And he was just like, babe, I just need the homeschooling to take place downstairs, and that way we can keep upstairs organized. And we've got this huge space down here. It doesn't make any sense that we aren't utilizing it. And so I said, okay, I understand, baby, but can we make downstairs like upstairs? And so that's what we pretty much did. Now, one of the most important areas for me was a couch. I like to I like to sit down, to read, to cuddle up with kiddos, to do math, or whatever the situation is. Sometimes they want to be sprawled out on the floor, and I sit on the couch and teach and stuff like that. So I really, really wanted that option. So this couch was a must for me. Back here, you'll find our punching bag because we need to get out energy at all times and have that readily accessible. So you've got the gloves and the bag here. Over here is our incredibly large printer. And then here is our bookshelf. So over here, these cubbies specifically house things for our younger kids, for my pre-K-er, a couple of things for my fourth grader, a couple of things for my first grader. And so I've got like resource bins here, and this is curriculum that we are currently not using to start off the year, but they'll need it throughout the year. So like my first grader's math, and he does a bunch of light units, so all his light units are housed here. Just things that we're not too there yet, but we will be there at some point throughout the year. Those are in their basket. So all 4 of my children have resource baskets. On the bottom here, which is what makes this more for the younger kiddos, is books. And so this is where I talk about how specifically how I would organize things versus how my kids would organize things. So it's a basket full of books. So they can come, they can grab it, they can put it back. It doesn't need to be stood up or placed in one of these things. It's just toss it in here, put it in here. And so this is an easier organization system for them. These are board books, and it's the same situation. Just toss it in there. So in here is all curriculum. This is like pushed out because we've got our Wi-Fi here, so hubby's gonna come and move the cord so that I can slide it all the way in. But here we've got curriculum that I'm not currently using, and it ranges from everything from language arts, math that we're not currently doing this year, history, science, all the things. So that's what's down here. Okay. So up here is things like Bob books and some electrical cords and notebooks and things like that are in these baskets. So like I said, I still have to go through and label them, but that's what's happening up here. So in these type of magazine rack folders, you'll find like our entire science section with like science encyclopedias and different things like that. And over here is our history section with our history encyclopedias and things like that. So those are those 2 main sections. Then I've got like my Good and the Beautiful books and a couple of poetry books and dictionaries and things like that. So I didn't want it completely packed. I wanted it to breathe, you know, and so that aspect was super important to me, and I didn't want it to be ridiculously difficult to keep organized. And I feel like it's easy with the bins. So inside the bins, the aqua bins are books that aren't necessarily series. I am going to be going through with dots, with the little different color dots, and putting some on the back of the books and some on the bins so that everybody can know, oh, this has a green dot, or sorry, this has a red dot. It goes in the red dot bin, and then they put it in the bin, and every book can at least stay in the bin that it's in. But the series, those I will just be will just be living on the shelf. Got like a little bouncer for the baby, a piano. Like I said, right now the walls are pretty bare, but I will be decorating them. So if you're into cleaning videos and you'd like to see the major transformation that took place here from start to finish, definitely check out my other channel called Life of Plan Prep Pray, where you will see the whole process go from start to finish. I hope you found this video helpful. Definitely subscribe so that you don't miss out on that video that shows the different ways that I organize my homeschool and get the more detailed look at all the things in this homeschool space. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.